Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about what linear functions are and how to draw graphs of linear function. Let's start by talking about what linear functions are. Okay, so linear functions are functions that looks like y equals mx plus b, or you could also write them as f of x equals mx plus b, where the letter M and then the letter B are just any real numbers. Okay, for example, this function y equals 2x plus 3 is a linear function, or you could write in the function notation as f of x equals 2x plus 3. So it's a number and then x and then plus, or it could be minus another number. The important thing is the x here, the independent variable, is raised to just power 1. Now we don't write it, but that's in there hidden. Okay, so a function with highest power of x is 1 is a linear function. So that's kind of like alternative definition. Now note that 1 of m and b could be equal to 0. Now, what do I mean by that? So, for example, let's look at this function. F of x equals 7x. Now, it doesn't quite look like mx plus b up there, does it? But this is still a linear function. The reason behind it is that this function can be written as 7x plus 0, and then now it looks like mx plus b. But we just don't write plus 0 because it doesn't do anything to the function. So we just write f of x equals 7x. Okay. So another function uh, that we can take a look at is g of x equals 5. Again, it doesn't quite look like mx plus b, but this is still a linear function because this 5 can be written as 0 times x plus 5. And it just happened in this case that the value of m, is 0, and then 0 times x being 0, we just don't write it. Okay, so this g of x equals 5 is also a linear function. Alright, so now that we know what linear functions are, let's take a look at how to graph them. So the first example, I'm gonna show you how to graph y equals 3x plus 2. Now the way we're gonna graph linear function, at least for now, is by making a table of x and y values. Okay, so the first column I will have some x values, and then the second column I'm going to have y values, which are given by 3x plus 2 based on the definition of the function. Now in theory, all I need is 2 points, but I want to have at least 3 points just so that if I make any mistake, I can see it right away whether or not the points fall on a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to have 3 different points here. So I'm going to do negative 2, 0, and then a 2. Okay, and then again, you are free to choose any x values as you want to make this table. Okay, so now to find the y value corresponding to the x value of negative 2, all we gotta do is plug in x in the function. So 3, so to find the y value for negative 2, I plug in negative 2 for x, so 3 times negative 2 plus 2. Now 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, plus 2 is negative 4. So this means that I've got this point negative 2 comma negative 4 on the graph. Okay, so this is the point I'm going to plot on this grid later on. Okay, so again, x value first and then the y value second, negative 2 comma negative 4. Now for 0, again, I do the same thing. I plug in 0 for x, so 3 times 0 plus 2. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. So I got this ordered pair now, 0, comma 2. And then for 2, I repeat the same thing. 3 times 2 plus 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. So the point I'm going to plot is 2, 8. Okay. So now that I have these 3 points, I'm going to plot them onto this grid here. So let me start by -2, -4 here. So I'm going to go 2 units left, -2, and then 4 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to be right here. So that's my -2, -4. I'm going to plot 0, 2. So 0, I don't move left or right, and then go up to 2. 0, 2. And then the third one is 2, 8. So I'm going to go 1, 2 to the right, and then 8 units up right there. Right. So notice that all 3 of these points lie in a straight line. So the last thing I can do is join these points with a ruler with a straight line. Okay. The graph of a linear function is always going to be straight line. I don't have a ruler, so I'm going to try my best to draw it straight as I can. Okay, so all right, then you want to draw arrow on either side, so that means the line extends in both directions. Okay, so this is the graph of y equals 3x plus 2. Let me show you one more example, and then we'll be done. All right, so let's graph y equals -2x plus 3. Again, we're gonna do the same thing as before. I'm gonna create a table of x and y values, and then give some x values. It doesn't matter which x values you give. Okay, so I'm gonna do this time 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so it doesn't matter which x values you pick. Alright, so for 1, the y value is going to be -2 times 1 plus 3. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 3 is 1. For 2, it's going to be -2 times 2 plus 3. -2 times 2 is -4 plus 3 is -1. And for 3 is -2 times 3 plus 3. -2 times 3 is -6 plus 3 is -3. So we got 3 points here, 1, 1 from the first x and y values, 2, -1, the second one, and then 3, -3. So to draw the graph of this function, all you gotta do is plot these 3 points and then join them with a straight line. So let's do that. So 1, 1 right there, 2, -1, and then 3, -3 right there. Make them a little bit bigger. Alright, so we got 3 points. So we're gonna join them with a nice straight lines. You wanna use a ruler when you do this, okay? Boom. And then that's the graph of y equals -2x plus 3. So note that the graph of linear function are always gonna be straight line. Thanks for watching.